Longtime flower shop in Hannibal is reopening with a new look. Griffin's Floral Studio in Hannibal hosted a ribbon cutting ceremony today to commemorate their reopening. The shop was closed for about 4 months to do some remodeling after being sold to a new owner. The store has been in Hannibal since 1915, and the new owner says she found a few surprises while renovating the building.
We've got war letters. We found pictures of Dan Griffin when he was overseas in the war. We found letters. We reunited all those amazing memories with the Griffins.
And members of the Griffin family were at today's ribbon cutting. The new owner of the shop also announced they will start hosting monthly flower arrangement classes for anyone interested in learning how to put together those flower bouquets.
And those were beautiful.